Hi, my name's Bert, and I need to pass on some information of things that I've learned that I would like to share. So, this website is talking about enlightenment, and there are a couple things that I've come to realize that I wish other people would know. I'm not the be all end all expert. I can only share my experience, and I encourage anyone who looks at this, anyone who hears this and thinks about what I'm saying, I encourage you to consider it for yourself. Don't just simply take it as truth or gospel. It's true for me. So I don't need any convincing. We can debate what your experience is, but there's no argument as far as what I've come to understand. So I might have further things to learn, but what I want to share is what I've come to understand. So, first off, enlightenment is not as hard as you think it is. It just may be so foreign, so unfamiliar, so difficult to relate to simply because of what you've been taught or what your past experiences have been. But it can be as simple as once you come to understand or believe that certain information is true, then it becomes much, much easier to consider something beyond that. You know, there was a time when people thought the world was flat. When it became really clear that the world was round, the ideas and the thoughts and just everything changed. Just because people became willing to believe that something was true that wasn't in the past. And so the first thing I want to say is, like I said, enlightenment is not as hard as you might think it is. So if we could just for a few moments imagine that it's much, much easier for you to attain enlightenment than you might have been led to believe. Then let's move on to the second. The second thing is, it's not like this be-all, end-all. Once you attain enlightenment, you're suddenly a vastly different person. You can have the experience of attaining enlightenment and still be a total jerk or you can continue dressing the way that you dress. You can continue eating the foods that you eat. You can continue driving and doing the work that you do. All those things, they don't have to change. But because you might have this experience, everything going forward can be fundamentally different because you see things with a much different perspective, or maybe with an added aspect, an added characteristic that you're looking at everything with. So here's an example. Let's say that you just went to this amazing restaurant and you ate some food that was prepared so incredibly well. You had never imagined that something like your favorite potatoes could be made to taste so extraordinary. And from that moment forward, every bite of potato that you have going forward is relative to what you had just experienced that one time, that one evening, that one meal. Just all the flavor, all of the I don't know the texture, the ambiance, just the entire experience of having this wonderfully prepared potato changes forever. everything that you experience afterwards. It can inspire you to want to, have that again and again and again. But the fundamental thing here is that you're changed just because of an experience. And it affects everything going forward. So consider that perhaps you have this experience of enlightenment, which is, for me, it was a profound sense of peace and a profound sense of safety and reassurance and freedom and it helped to deflate, or really just dismiss, so many deep needs that I now understand to be very human, very common, very reasonable, and I can still have those desires. I'm still the same person, but I've been changed. And all the things that I had done before, my profession, it's still going, but it's different every moment that I do it. My family life, my personal life, the things that I pursue, the things that I'm interested in, the things that everything about my life experience has changed because I now have a much deeper sense of peace and assuredness and comfort and love and acceptance in myself. So absolutely every moment going forward since that experience, since those experiences have been different. And because they've been different, it's progressive. Everything has changed again and again and again and again. I just want you to know, if you found this, because I'm not going to market this, but if you found this, if you can find somebody that knows more about this than you do, ask him to help you find this. But most importantly, believe that it's possible. Don't think that it's like out there. Don't think that it requires this struggle and frustration, and it can. it did for me, but it doesn't have to. If you are willing to believe that your worldview can be dramatically changed, fundamentally changed, from the world being flat to being round, from the world being painful and a struggle to being peaceful and free. From there, everything can be different.